Hello friends, I am Liz Holloway at Liz Holloway Design and welcome to this video. I'm going to show you how to create this card using the Party Panda stamp set, which you can get for free during celebration if you place an order of $60. Now this is also using the Color Me Happy, and we're going to take the lanterns from there, and I'll show you how to use the stamping blends. And then at the same time, we don't have any real red, so I'm using my Copic markers. So and then we're going to use the archival black ink as well as the real red. So let's get started. If you want to follow me, I can be found at lizhollowaydesign.blogspot.ca, and I'll put a post link to this video tutorial, and you can find me right there. Okay, so here is the Color Me Happy stamp set, as well as the Party Pandas, and like I said, you can get this set for free during celebration, which runs from January 3rd to March 31st. I'm going to take my focal point panel. I'm going to stamp this with the archival black ink, and I got my line already set up on my acrylic block, and all I'm doing is I'm tapping this lightly and then taking this and adding one line right here. Now I got a double line, which I don't like, and so what I'm going to do is I'm cleaning off my stamp set to make sure that any of the blacking remnants is not there. And so then I'm going to turn this over, and again making sure that it's secured onto the acrylic block, and just tapping. And if you're unsure, just kind of clean it off with the baby wipes. And then here I'm stamping a line right on the focal point, which is really good. I like that. And then here I'm going to stamp it again, and just to be sure that I don't have any line, I'm going to take my baby wipe and wipe it again, and then adding a second line right here. So then once that's done, I'm going to stamp my Party Panda, the one with the partying hat. Actually, I'm going to take this lantern because I really don't know how far it sits down, and so I'm going to take this and then stamping it right on here, the lantern. Perfect. And then I'm going to take this and then stamping it right here. Now you're going to take your remnant cardstock and you're going to stamp two of the round lantern and one of the skinny lantern. Okay, and then once that's set aside, I'm going to take my Party Panda, make sure he's inked up well, and here I am just adding him right here, right in the middle. And then I'm taking my line again and adding a line right there, and then the round lantern, and I'm just stamping it right where his arm is. Now I'm not going to worry about it overlapping because that's going to be covered up. Shut this down, and then I am going to use my real red, and this is the background stamp. Okay, so just randomly add the stamp. And you can see I'm moving my paper around so that it's just randomly. Now you don't have to fill it up if you don't want to. Okay, and you shut this down. And then what I'm doing now is taking my stamping blends, and this is the Daffodil Delight. You want to make sure that your black ink is dry before applying the blend so that it doesn't run. And so I'm just kind of waving it back and forth. And so when I'm doing this, I am taking my blends and I'm saturating this lantern with yellow, taking my darker one, the dark Daffodil Delight, and then applying that right there, and then pulling this back down to blend the two colors together. Okay, so then with my remnant pieces, I'm going to go ahead and saturate the two. I'm going right over the line because I am going to cut this out. So I'm not too worried about going right over. So take that dark and then taking the light back and then blending the two. Okay, so the Copic marker, because we don't have the Real Red stamping blends, I'm going to take my Copic marker, and this is R27 and R29. How Copic marker works is that you want the two number differentials. I'm not a Copic expert, but I heard that if you take one color that is 2 shades lighter, it works well together. So here I am using R27, and all I'm doing is shading it like this, taking my R29, and then I'm just adding dark shades right on top. And do this for both of them. And then taking my R27 back again and then shading it back down, just to remove the harsh lines. Okay, so then what you're going to do is take your Rinca Stella, and you're going to color the whole image of these lanterns and not worry about how this is going to fall. But with this particular focal point piece, this is where you want to really pay attention and stay within the lines. Okay, so then once that's done, you're going to take your paper snips and you're going to trim this out, and basically close to the black line. Okay, there's one. And you can see that I'm moving my paper and while slipping down with my scissors. And then one more. And then with the tassel, I'm not going to worry about that because that's already stamped on my focal point. Okay, and then I'm going to take my black markers, and this can be a Sharpie marker, and I'm going to color the edges. And when you're coloring the edges, it makes a darker line as well. When you're popping this up, you don't see the white images or the white cardstock that's underneath it. Do the same thing for this. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is taking my dimensionals and then adding dimensionals on the back of the 3 images. And then placing it down like that, right on it over top. Then for this one, you want to figure out where this particular lantern is going to sit, and then you're going to take your fine black tip marker. And this is like a fine tip Sharpie pen that I have, and I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a line and then add that right there. because he is helping out doing the setup of the the Chinese New Year lantern. Okay, and then I'm gonna put this right on the back of the basic cardstock and just using glue, very light amount of glue going on the back, and then securing it down onto the black mat. And I like using the glue just because it gives you enough wiggle room to position your paper. Okay, and then taking your Whisper White, your Real Red cardstock, make sure that it is lined up, taking your bone folder and creasing, and then taking your panel and then just gluing your panel to the left side and center vertically, and just leaving a small space. It's about a 1/4 inch space. And there you go. Now if you have any questions, you can find me at liz.hollowaydesign.blogspot.ca or email me at liz.holloway@gmail.com, and I will be happy to place your order. Okay, I'll talk to you soon. Thanks for joining in. Bye-bye.